hello to my 10 subscribers. My daughter Jocelyn just turned 1. In honor of that, I'm going to rewind 1 year to the day that I gave birth, and I'm going to tell all of you about it. I'm at the end of my pregnancy. I'm about ready to have this baby. I was not feeling it anymore. I was in like pain. I was like, my back was hurting. I just did not want to be pregnant anymore. I wanted to have my baby and just be done with it. So I am like literally Googling ways. I'm on forums. I'm on like baby websites. I'm like Googling ways of how to pretty much have this baby. Like, let's go, let's get it over with. And so throughout my pregnancy, like once I hit the 3rd trimester, once I got actually close to, having the baby, I was bouncing on a birthing ball because I watched a lot of YouTube videos about how, you should bounce on a birthing ball. It helps, with everything. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. There'll be some exercise. So like I took like, a certain time out of the day while I'm sitting in front of the TV, like bounce on the ball, like in front of the TV. So I was doing that. I was walking. I was taking such long walks. I was going on walks all the time. Like I was just trying, like, to move the process along. Let's see. What else did I do? I did so much stuff like somebody told me that like there's like a pressure point in your foot that like will like help. And so I like got a pedicure, like all this crazy stuff, and nothing was working. I mean, I'm not gonna say working because obviously your baby comes whenever they want to, but whatever, because I found something. So I don't know if this is the reason. All I know is I did this thing and I had me a baby. I finally came across something on Pinterest that I decided to try. So what I came across was a recipe for labor-inducing cookies. I found these cookies. I decided to make them, and let me tell you, these cookies had a lot of ingredients in them that I just didn't have on hand, like some like weird stuff. Like I didn't have ginger, like I didn't have, I will post the link of the cookies. And so everything that I read about the cookies said that when you make them, eat as many of the cookies as you can stomach. And when they said that, I didn't even like think about it. I'm like, okay, whatever. And so one of the ingredients in the cookies was cayenne pepper. And I don't know about you, but I am not that into spicy stuff. And I do not look for spice in my cookies. So these were not enjoyable cookies. Like these cookies, at first I was like, oh my goodness, these kind of taste like ginger snaps. But after like 3 cookies, actually scratch that. After like 2 cookies, I was like over the whole thing. I managed to get through 7 cookies, and I made like a bunch of these cookies. Like I ended up throwing away so many cookies. Nathan wouldn't eat them. He's like, why would I eat that? It's gross. But anyway, I got through 7 cookies, and then I was just like, I don't care. I'm sick. I'm not eating anymore. I don't care if it works or not. Who cares? So I get through 7 cookies, and this happens around like 1 p.m. in the daytime or whatever. So I get through these cookies. I end up taking a nap, around like 3 or 4. And then I wake up, and then, I'm at home alone. Nathan went to work at 7. So I'm just, chilling around the house. I go to the bathroom, and then I go into the bathroom mirror, and I'm like looking at myself like, how pregnant am I? Like, oh my gosh. Right then and there, it's 9:30 p.m. My water broke. I'm like, I did not know what to do. I'm like, oh my gosh, like what is happening right now? I was in like shock because like I never had a baby before. I'm like, oh my God, like I was thinking like I just made this happen, and no, I can't take it back because I'm gonna have to like push a baby out. I was like scared. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, only thing that I kept saying, the only thing that I could say is like, okay. So I just kept saying okay. It was like ridiculous, and I'm at home alone, so I'm freaking out. by myself. I pick up the phone, I call Nathan's phone, and usually he keeps his phone on the ringer on, even though he's not supposed to have his phone at work, but like he kept the ringer on because I'm so, far along. I'm calling and calling and nobody's answering. And then I texted his supervisor. So I texted his supervisor. I didn't get an answer from that. And then finally I called like the front desk at the company and was like, hey, can you like tell Nathan that like the baby's coming in and like it's time, because like he has the car and everything. So like I'm at home, like pretty much I can't do anything. I can't go anywhere. Obviously I'm not gonna drive when I'm about to have a baby, but whatever. So Nathan gets the message somehow and comes home. Oh wait, he calls me and he's like, oh my gosh, are you serious? I'm on my way home, blah blah this and that. And at this point I did not even have like a bag ready, because like I was like, I need to be prepared, but you know what, like whatever. Like it was like a no big deal kind of thing, and it should have been because I needed a bag. But like we're like sitting there and like Nathan is like freaking out. Like when he gets there he's freaking out and I'm trying to be calm. I'm like, okay, we need to get this, okay, like everything's fine. Like I'm not feeling any contractions. I'm like trying to calm down the situation even though like I'm freaking out in the inside. So we get my birthing ball. We have to like let the air out of it because I didn't want to just bring like a big ball. I wanted to let the air out and then pump it back up when we get to the hospital because it wouldn't fit in the bag. But so we have to like get all of our stuff ready and then we're off. As soon as I get there, they like put me in a wheelchair, and like you always see that on TV, and I was like, I knew this was gonna happen. Like I knew this was gonna happen. But I was like, cool, I'm in a wheelchair. I'm like, having a baby, it's gonna be like, oh my gosh. My water broke at 9:30 p.m. I got to my room by 10:30 and was in the bed. They hooked up monitors and all this stuff, and I had to be hooked up to this like baby heart monitor, and then the thing that like measured the contractions, which there were none at this point. Had to be hooked up to that the whole time. So like basically once your water breaks, they have to deliver your baby within 24 hours for the safety of the baby. So basically they were monitoring if I was going to start having contractions, and if I didn't, they were going to induce me. And guess what? I did not have any contractions, so they had to induce me. So around 2 a.m. they started the induction medicine. So they started that, and then I was waiting to have contractions. I didn't actually start having any contractions until about, I want to say 5 a.m. So I'm sitting there for like hours, like, when is this happening? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm just waiting for this like big, huge like fuss that everybody's talking about. Little did I know, it's coming. So it's 5 a.m. The contractions are starting. They started, really light. It wasn't really that much. It was just kind of like a little, ooh, like what's that? Like that hurts a little bit. And then like gradually they started getting up and up and up. And I would say like the really like unbearable ones, they were like really close to me actually giving birth, and like the whole waiting process, they weren't like so uncomfortable that I was just like, oh my gosh, screaming the whole time. Like I wasn't like really like, it was like hurting, and like I was like, I had to like kind of like bear down sometimes just to be like, oh, let me get through this until it's over. But they weren't like really crazy. So around 9 o'clock, I would say 9 o'clock a.m. they started getting really bad and like blah blah blah. And this is the part when I was like, because I planned on doing the whole thing with no epidural, and I never wanted to waver on that one. Like I never even wanted to like think about having an epidural. But there was also IV pain medication that they could have done, which they said wasn't going to do a lot, but it was just going to take the edge off. And like by this time I'm like, this edge needs to go. Like I don't want this edge anymore. Like take it off. Like can you please give me the IV medicine? And they're like, okay, we can only give it to you if you're like, we can only give it to you before you get to 7 centimeters dilated. So she's like, okay, let me check you and see if it's even okay to give it. So she goes to check me and she's like, oh my goodness, you're 8 centimeters dilated. I'm gonna go get the doctor. And I'm like, what? I'm not ready for this. Like, oh my God. Like, I was like so scared. Like, you don't understand. Like, I was like, oh my God. So I started freaking out, started panicking. I'm like, I can't do this. Like, oh my God. Like, wait. Like, just trying to like slow the whole situation down because it went so fast. So yeah, everything happened and bloop, blop, bam, baby. Like, within like literally within 30 minutes of her, I'm gonna go get the doctor, there was a baby there. And I was like, everything just happened like so crazy fast. And I don't even know. So like in total, I only went through about like 5 hours of labor, like actual labor. Like, I know my water broke. So technically I went through 12 hours of labor because technically your labor starts when your water breaks, I guess. I don't know. She was born at 10:36 and boom, bam, bam, that's what happened. And I didn't end up having an epidural and I didn't end up having pain medicine, and it was actually crazy. Yeah, and I was actually traumatized afterwards. Like, it was really bad, and like just looking back and how it's been a year since then, it's insane. Like, and I'm so glad I have my daughter. I love her so much. She's just the light of my life, and I just don't know what I would do without her. And I'm glad that I went through the whole thing. But I'm telling you, honey, at the time I was like, nope, I shouldn't have done this. So that's my story about how I gave birth. It was a crazy ride, but here we are, 1 year later. Thank you for watching. Please like my video. Please like subscribe to it. Please, what else? Comment and stuff. Whatever people do to YouTube videos, do all those things.